What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today, once again, comes from the Frequentem Brewing Company, and they are headquartered in Canandaigua, New York, and this is their natural flavors, the peach variant. So this is a sour IPA with peach. It comes in at 6.3% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, I don't know exactly how old this can is because it does not have a can down date that I can find. Usually with Frequentum, it's like on the side and whatnot, and it's not. I can't find one. However, I think this is quite fresh, and that's because I picked this up about 2 weeks ago at my favorite local bottle shop of choice, brewed and bottled in Lewiston, New York. Shout out to Chris and the gang over there. He just got a drop of like a bunch of Frequentum stuff, including I think it was 3 different natural flavors variants. And I'm pretty sure they were all quite fresh. So I'm gonna say that this is at the oldest about a month old, but more likely in that 3-week range. Regardless, a beer like this, we should be okay. We're under a month old. Anyway, so I have had a couple different variants of natural flavors from Frequentum. And natural flavors is basically they take a sour IPA base and kind of blend it with a fruit puree. I've had their tangerine, which I reviewed like 3 years ago. That was pretty solid, quite good. It was very simplistic, which is, a lot of these are quite simplistic. It's a sour IPA, blended with fruit puree, so I don't find them too complex. But it was pretty good. I've also had the strawberry one, and I want to say the raspberry, but I like peach. And I remember a review from a couple good friends of mine and fellow beer tubers, Dan and Mike over at FLX Beer Reviews. I think they reviewed this one late last year or early this year. And I remember them really digging it, which was wild because I'm pretty sure that Mike doesn't like peaches. So I think he enjoyed it. I think Dan liked it a little bit more. But yeah, I'm here for it. The only issue with sour IPAs that are fruited, in my opinion, is that a lot of times the sour IPA base gets lost. It just kind of turns into fruited sour with a little bit of hop character. I preferred it when a lot of these breweries called them dry hopped sours, because I think that makes a little bit more sense. You're looking for a sour with the accentuation of like hop character. But regardless, I'm really looking forward to this one because I do love peaches. So we'll see how this one is. As you're gonna see, this is gonna pour out like you would expect out of something like this. Oh, look at that carbonation. I did not expect that carbonation. But it does, again, it's heavily fruited, so we'll see. I went a little bit heavy on the pour. Maybe I should have done that. What we'll do is we'll let it oh my God, that's the little steal there of that sip was gnarly. So as you can see, because I poured it aggressive, just thinking it was a heavily fruited sour, it'll be all right if I just kind of pour it hard. Yeah, no, that looks a little bit. Now, I will say this, it looks kind of oxidized slightly. On camera, it's probably gonna look worse in person. It kind of has that deep, dark, like orange color that's turning slightly gray. About 4 fingers of this crazy head that is like this tannish, almost, yeah, I'd say khaki colored head. You see the fruit puree kind of building around it. But yeah, it's murky, it's turbid. Whether it's a heavily fruited sour or like a hazy sour IPA, you can't see through it. But it definitely is a bit darker, but it is fruit puree, so keep that in mind. It's not like this is just a straight IPA. So if this was just a straight IPA with no fruit in it, I'd be concerned color-wise. But I don't think, based on the sips that I'm stealing here, I don't think I have any room for, or I should say, I don't really think there's anything off with it. So anyway, let's get a nose. Oh my God, dude, it smells like overripened peaches or like canned peaches, or even like peaches in a fruit cup. It has that very sweet confectionery peach kind of aroma, but they smell authentic. It doesn't smell like candied. This does not smell like peach gummy rings. It smells like real peach because it's peach puree. Oh my God, you know what? It also smells like the peaches you'd get in like a peach pie or like a peach cobbler. Oh my God, it smells so good. It's so goddamn good. It really does. There's a little bit of like a hop character I'm getting here, like a citrus kind of quality, like an orange, grapefruit, lemon, like kind of zest to it. Maybe even a little like a floral, like a little bit of a floral kind of quality, or like a green kind of quality. I shouldn't say no, but I'm pretty positive there's no other adjuncts in here. Because when it comes to just fruit from Frequentum, it's just the fruits that are in here. Same thing with these natural flavors. Unless they add something, they do list it on the label. Pretty sure it's just peach in here, peach puree specifically. But this has a little bit of like a spiciness that reminds me of cinnamon, which is where I think that peach cobbler thing I was talking about. Now that my nose is kind of acclimated to this, it doesn't smell super sweet or anything. But this honestly smells like a heavily fruited peach sour with an accentuation of some kind of hops. Again, they're more citrusy hops. Maybe there's some kind of hop character that's producing like a peacherine or something that's kind of upping the peach character. I don't know. It smells really good. Smells very refreshing, even though it's a bit colder out. I want to get into this one. So cheers, everybody. Let's see what this one has to offer. Fucking delicious. Wow. I love the finish of this beer. And that's where, again, a beer like this series specifically, I think, if you go into this one thinking that the Sour IPA is going to be the predominant characteristic in this beer, it's not. The peach puree is. But it's, again, accentuated by the Sour IPA base. And the finish really kind of lets you know that. Body mouthfeel. Body's not thick and viscous like you would get out of a straight on heavily fruited sour, but it is pretty thick. This is like lower side of full body for 6.3%. Yeah, it's pretty big. Again, being blended with the fruit puree, you kind of expect that. The mouthfeel has a good moderate carbonation to it, but it still has a smoothness to it. It's quite creamy, as you can just see from the, I mean, look at the fucking, the glass lacing's fantastic from the fruit puree, but just, the glass lacing itself. But the head is holding strong, which I rarely see with heavily fruited beers of any sort. Usually that head just dissipates from the fruit. You pour it in and usually, it generates a huge head and then kind of dissipates. This is dissipating, but it's still, has a finger, almost 2 fingers of a fucking crazy head. So I think that's pretty cool. So I like the body and mouthfeel. The taste, kind of like I was saying at the beginning, it's very simplistic, front to back. You could say overripened peach. You could say, I would say more of like a peach pie filling. But the beauty about this one is the nose was a little misleading because it did seem like when I taste this one, it's going to be sweet. You can't smell sweetness, but it was indicating, yeah, it's going to probably be sweeter on the palate. Is it sweeter on the palate? It is. Is it sickly sweet? It is not anywhere close. And the reason for that is because despite the fact that I'm getting that peach front to back, you could say peach pie filling, you could say peach cobbler filling, you could say, overripened peaches, canned peaches, peaches in a fruit cup. The second half of the palate, more specifically like the last quarter of the palate, this finish is firmly dry, and it has that mild to moderate bitterness that is, to me, it's almost like a zesty, rindy kind of citrus fruit, like the rind or zest of like an orange or a grapefruit. It's nice. This is a beer for somebody who doesn't care about, being a beer being complex. The complexity of a beer, you're just like, whatever, is it good or not? Yes, this is good. It's very simplistic. It's peach front to back. It's that firm dryness. It's that zesty kind of citrus finish, and as a mild to moderate bitterness. It leans sweet. I'd say 60 to 40 sweetness to dryness and bitterness, but I'm gonna have no issues drinking the rest of this. And on top of that, I do believe that I could probably drink a couple of these, which I don't really say about heavily fruited anything, let alone sour IPA. So that's really cool. Yeah, much better than the tangerine one that I had 3 years ago. I think they gave it like a 4 out of 5 or like a 4.1 out of 5. This is much better. And again, I love peaches. Tangerines, they're all right. I like tangerines. I like oranges. But peaches, yeah, sign me up. They had a raspberry one, and I think the aforementioned Mike, I think that's his favorite in the series. I think I've had it, but I haven't reviewed it, so I might have to review that at some point, maybe the next time they release it. I love raspberries as well. The strawberry one I enjoyed, but I think the strawberry one was kind of my least favorite of the natural flavors. To me, it was kind of weak. But again, this was like when they were relatively new, like the first year or two of them being open. But they've kind of, reined everything in and figured it out. And the natural flavors line is really good, just as good as their just fruit line, especially if you're looking for something with a little bit more of a hop kick to it. So yeah, 6.3%, you can't tell with beers like this. Natural flavors, the peach variant from Frequentem, absolutely zero issues giving this a low 4.5, I'll go 4.4. This is tasty stuff. If you're here in the Western New York area and you can get your hands on Frequentem, if you're in the Finger Lakes region, you got the Canandaigua original location. And if you're here in Buffalo, they have the new Buffalo location, which I still haven't checked out because I'm a piece of crap. So I need to get down there at some point and check out the digs, have some beers, and just enjoy my time there. But yeah, you got to check out any of their beers. And again, if you're in Western New York and you can hit up Brewed and Bottled, they do get drops of their stuff occasionally. They'll get singles, like I got this one. So pretty cool. All right, price point availability. At the brewery, $20 a 4-pack, fine by me. I paid $6 for that can at Brewed and Bottled. Of course, you know, they're getting distro to local places. Everybody's got to make a little money, so I'm okay with paying an extra $1 a can so I can buy a single and don't have to buy an entire 4-pack. You guys know the deal here on the Beer Patrol. I pretty much buy singles. I review 1 beer a day. I drink 1 beer a day as a whole, so buying 4-packs of a lot of beers just go to waste unless I'm trading or unless I'm, you know, sending out beer mails. So I'm very grateful for a place like Brewed and Bottled, and I'm very grateful to a brewery like Frequentem that will get their stuff out locally to bottle shops so they can break them up and sell them as singles. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be reviewing their stuff as much as I do. And availability is Frequentem. If you're in the Western New York area, maybe New York State, maybe not all the way down New York State, but I'd say here, Syracuse, you know, Central New York, maybe the capital region, you know, Albany and whatnot, you probably see their stuff. But let me do one more sip here and make sure a 4.4 is appropriate. Yes, it is. It is. It's just, it's basically peach. It's sweet peach, and the finish kind of blends, and it blends everything together beautifully. It kind of makes this a cohesive beer to some degree, which is nice. So anyway, if you've had this beer before or any other of their natural flavors beers, let me know. If not, have you had any fruited sour IPAs? What do you think about them? Like I said, for me, they're more miss than hit. I always feel like sour IPAs get dominated by the fruit character, and that happened here. The good thing is, on the finish, you do get the hop character. It's not big, it's not over the top, but it is noticeable, and it's noticeable more than if this was their Just Fruit series, say peach. That would be full on, probably sweet and a little bit too much. It breaks up the monotony of all the sweetness, I think, was what the hops really do to this one, and I do appreciate it from that standpoint. So I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol and another Western New York Wednesday. Check back next week. I don't know what I'm reviewing. I don't know why I'm posting these, but I do believe next week is the day before Thanksgiving, so I might review an old school Big Ditch barrel-aged beer from their prior releases. They always do their stouts giving the night before, I should say the day before Thanksgiving, and I have a couple left over from last year that I did not review, so I might review one of them and just see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.